sipping, I'm 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 sipping.
Sipping, I'm 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 sipping.
This is Sipping with Sammie. I am Sipping with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Get your fucking life together. And South is somewhere.
Yeah, I'm here. Yo, you already know I'm in everybody's building.
Yeah, you look like you in the great outdoors, as they call them.
Oh, I am. I definitely am.
That's that good living you got going on. Salute to that.
Absolutely.
And we already got our favorite chick with us, man. Juice chick with the juice.
Slick with the juice.
Don't know what it is. It's hashtag chick with the juice is juicy. Baby, if you know, you know. And if you don't, you better give them the weed.
Hey.
Well, first I'm going to start by drinking to you queens. Cheers to y'all for being go-getters and dope people and always holding me the fuck down. I appreciate y'all.
Right.
Open it though.
But I was starting earlier before we got side tapped in, which they won't see. I was saying, chick with the juice, I see you got the new merch on right goddamn now.
Yeah, man, trying to switch it up a little bit, switch over to some merchandise. I got some socks, hats, t-shirts, in different styles. I got about 2 different logos. I'm working on a few things.
Definitely working on some shit. You always working.
Wait.
You got to have more than one income.
Yo, let me tell you, I hit chick up all kind early in the morning, late at night, middle of the night. Yeah. She like, yo, wait, well, you want to come meet me? Yo, matter what time of day or night. Right?
I had the same conversation with both of y'all recently, but separately, about when we entrepreneurs and when we doing our own thing, it's our responsibility to make sure we take that time to regulate our rest. Y'all remember that? Both of you motherfuckers got to figure that part out.
I know. I can't say I've been able to really do it the best, but I'm trying, bro.
No, word. I ain't scolding. I'm just saying, like, that's one thing I talked to both of y'all about, because chick be burning it on both ends.
I do, and I picked up a whole nother thing. So that's gonna be like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but it's gotta balance.
Oh yeah, you got an artist now, right?
I do have an artist.
Shout out.
She is. Her name is Nunu. I call her. She's the new wave. Wait till she hits, yo.
She's definitely tough.
Yeah, I fuck with Nunu.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, she's from Mobile, Alabama. She a little different.
Yeah, but she cool as shit, and she do the music thing. You know what I mean? So that's all it is.
Yeah, she is.
Personality and talent.
Flyboy Friday, yeah, in Glocawearradiostation. We heard her music. I heard it at Flyboy Friday. So shout out to them.
I've had her for. I'm sorry, I was distracted. I had a customer at my window.
Good.
I've had my hands on her for about a month. And I've taken her to a few people, and she is working on a few things. And I mean, she's been moving, and she's been doing a lot. So she went back to Alabama to work on a video, but she's coming back on the 1st, and we getting ready to. We're gonna hit hard. That Philly gonna know who she is.
Full throttle.
Everybody gonna know who she is.
And y'all know if I put my name behind it, because I don't put my name on nothing that I don't trust. And I trust in her like I trust in my product.
How did you come across Nunu? Because it takes a lot to want to pick up somebody's brand that way.
And I didn't want to do it. What happened was I had a friend who reached out to me and just said, I'm coming back home. I'm bringing my cousin. She raps. Can you just introduce her to some folks? No problem. I can do that. So when she got here, I listened to her music, and at first it was like, okay. But then I listened to her music, and her story is crazy. This girl is 19 years old. She only been seriously rapping for maybe about a year. But she has dealt with a lot of death and a lot of pain, and she comes from a place of pain, and you can hear it in her music. You can hear it in her, and you can hear it in her vocabulary when she's spitting. She's not 19 anymore when she gets in that booth. She talks stuff that we can all relate to. It is vicious. every time she opens her mouth, she amazes me even more. Every time she drops something, I'm like, all right, this will be the single. And then she drops something else, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know, this might be the single. So I don't know, man. We might got a little monster on our hands.
That's what's up. Well, you know, I'm here for you for all of that. But quick question is would you classify her, or would you say the emotion was like when you got around her, you seen what she had going on, and you dug into the art, that you felt like she deserved to win?
She's beyond that. We just talked to each other yesterday, and she said, Juice, she said, I think that I came into your life to switch you from what you were doing to level you up. I said, and I feel like you came into my life to get me out of Mobile and level me up to a different, because she's very known in Mobile. Mm-hmm. But I said, you come to Philly and they know, because Philly hates Philly. We hate everything.
Right.
We hate everything. So if you come to Philly and you can make it anywhere. Forget New York.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I watched her have a couple conversations. She got some shit coming up because she was talking to some folks, some artists and other people that want to work with her. They dug her. They fuck with her vibe. They like her as a person. Name. So yeah.
Yes. And again, I've stamped. So I'm serious about her, and she's serious about it, and that's the only way this product is going to move. So if you see how I move, you watch how I move with her.
Oh shit, she about to be lit. It's on.
I know.
It's on and pop locking. That's lit. That's dope though. I like to see you excited because I know that you be tired as shit, but you excited every time we mention her.
Right.
I am. She does excite me. So I know that this is what God, Allah, however you call him, has put her in my area for a reason.
Right.
So I'm not going to close that door. I'm going to run with it. And if it's what it's supposed to be, it'll work. If it's not, then on to the next thing. I don't sit still long.
I dig it. One thing, because I know we might not have Chick but so long because she's moving, she in the streets. But I wanted to get into, especially because I have 2 women, 2 mothers, 2 wives on here. We've been going through a lot of shit this year with racism and all of this stuff. And in the last couple days, another black man got shot in his back 7 times and is paralyzed possibly forever in front of his 3 sons. And I just want to get y'all energy. I don't want to make it dark, but we got to go there sometimes. So just some feedback, emotions, realizations. I don't know.
You want to go first? I mean, I'll go first if you want me to.
I ain't telling which woman to do what. You know that. I'm going to let y'all pick.
Right. It's a way deeper conversation, and we need a long show for that. But I'm just going to say real quick that this shit right here is terrifying. What I saw on that video had to be the most terrifying thing that I have seen yet. That was more terrifying than the riots, than all the shootings that I've seen, and we are desensitized. We're used to seeing this.
Sadly.
I don't know. I'm terrified for our children. But the scary part is we got to be scared of the cops, and we all got to be scared of these kids, because most of these shootings that's happened, I don't know what's going on everywhere else, but in Philly, every time I turn around, it's the kids, 15, 13, 16.
Oh yeah, youngins is wreck chasing. It's a video game.
They wrecking the game. Mm-hmm. So it's very terrifying to not. You want to protect your children, but then you know it's so. I was in 3 shootouts last week. 3.
Yeah, you told me about it.
3. In the middle of 3 shootouts last week. That's the scariest thing I have ever. I mean, that's terrifying. Right now, the energy is so crazy in the city. Everywhere. Forget the city. Everywhere. Mm-hmm. You don't know what's going to happen next. It's like this was crazy, but I feel like the next thing that's happening is going to be even crazier.
Mm-hmm. It's getting worse and worse. Well, it's definitely just reaching levels that are unprecedented that I've never seen before. Shit is just becoming more flagrant, and it's just out of fucking control.
Now,
and that's what I was. Go ahead.
Before you say what, because I want you to answer. I want to give you time. But what I realized is every excuse that they made for the last person that was killed by police got debunked by the next person that was killed by police. So you're seeing the progression of every checkpoint being checked off in front of you. Like, well, don't wear this. Well, that don't matter. Well, don't do this. Well, that don't matter. Well, he did this. Well, nah, he didn't. This motherfucker did this. Like, I was in fear for my life. Well, he wasn't. And it's like, when it gets to that point, it's like overwhelming, crazy. But go ahead, Saf. My bad.
Yeah.
Still got it.
So the first thing I'm just overcome with emotion because, like when I saw the video, I damn near couldn't breathe. Like that shit took the breath out of me. Like it was just so, it was just ridiculous. And like Chick said, like I worry about my children, our children, but I worry about shit, everybody, my fucking dad, me, y'all. Like the shit is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's the young bucks that's doing a lot of that's involved in it, but at the same time, bullets don't have no name. Like I was in the middle of a shootout too last week, and I was in Lisa everywhere. I was in the fucking county. I was in dirt. I was out like Fallcroft for some talent shit. But the point is the shit is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's just really disheartening. And I don't know when enough is enough. I mean, we've marched, we've protested, we've fired people, we've jailed people. I don't know what the fuck to do. Like I don't really know.
Oh, I know the
like,
answer.
I'm very hopeful. You know, I used to be very fucking hopeful, but now I'm back at a place to like despair, and I don't know what the fuck to do. Like I don't want to feel that way because you got to be a part of the fucking solution. Like you can't just put your arms up. You know what I'm saying? But right now I'm in an emotional place.
The sad part is that the sad part about it is that there's nothing we can do directly. We could contribute to things that might antiquate to something happening, but it's not up to us. What they need to do is make examples out of motherfuckers. Y'all did it with crack. Y'all did it with everything else. Y'all gave mandatory minimums for shit, and motherfuckers slowed down and started being more discreet and started being more cautious about doing certain things. Period.
Right.
So you need to roof a couple cops and not let them get off on a pill.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You need to change the wording of the book so that they stop sliding through the cracks based on loopholes in the books that say that all they gotta say is I was in fear for my life. Why are you a police officer if you're in fear for your life and I got a cell phone in my hand?
That's another thing I was going to say. The thing I was going to say about this case was I feel like that police officer was poorly trained because there's no reason in the world you should be chasing somebody, grabbing them by the back of their fucking t-shirt. You don't know how to subdue somebody, and then for even past that, you just go to your firearm. Like that's the bullshit.
False,
like
I agree with the sentiment, but it's false because what happens is the system is working the way it was designed to work. So he wasn't poorly trained.
Sure, absolutely.
He did his fucking job, and that's the problem. Second part is if I rode by and I saw somebody whooping somebody, beating the shit out of them, and they tried to run away, and that person grabbed the back of their shirt and kept punching them in the back of their head, my first reaction is, yo, let them fucking go. So imagine getting shot while somebody's holding you in place.
Mm-hmm.
Your baby's in the back seat.
But mind you, that was the situation. The situation was he stopped his car because during these times he's trying to do the police's job in our community, and he tried to break up a fucking fight. When they got there, he became the problem. He realized I have kids in the car. We coming from a birthday party. I'm not going through this shit. I'm out. See what I'm saying?
You know what bothered me too? A lot of people when I see a lot of comments, people are like, well, he was resisting arrest and he was doing it. And I'm like, yo, like, so resisting arrest warrants being shot? Is that what that means?
I saw a meme today that say they not even allowed to kill guilty people. What are you talking about? How about that? How about fuck the innocent people they killing? Police are not supposed to kill guilty people either.
Right.
You fucking dickheads.
Right.
Like, let's keep it all the way G.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is gotten completely out of hand, and it's not going to get better. And I agree with you, Saf. I am completely over the marching and the protesting, and that's not going to do anything at all. The only thing that can change this is them. You know what I'm saying? And unless there's some examples set, just like Sammie said, it's not going to happen.
Like, not to mention, yesterday Pence said, I guess he was trying to, maybe have a statement before any riots or something happened. And he was saying how, if any, that you will be charged to the fullest extent of the law if you, commit any crimes that's related to
The
riots
law
and
and order
protesting.
shit they just spitting.
Anything, but didn't mention anything about what actually created these issues and these problems. Like, didn't mention shit about it at all, about the enforcement and nothing.
Excuse me.
So that's
No corona. But you know, that's on brand. Because the whole thing is, this whole thing started with trying to address what caused these problems in our country.
Exactly.
So you can't
Absolutely.
go to what caused one problem if you're trying to avoid what caused the bigger problem that preceded that problem. That's directly connected to that problem.
right.
You know what I mean? And like I said before, what I learned from Trevor Noah is one of the best things they did in Africa, where he from, was that the government admitted that they fucked up. They said,
Right.
yes,
And it's never been
we
done
were
here.
implicit in some fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about reparations. It was about, once you admit it, then now that you acknowledge it, you acknowledge that we got to work forward. But if you
Right.
won't even acknowledge it, which is what their party and they people are not doing, then we can't grow from there. We can't get better because you keep acting like it never happened. You're literally getting on TV and putting people on the convention saying shit like systematic racism and racism doesn't exist in this country, and then 5 seconds later tell you how she got it treated and discriminated against because she was Indian. Mind you, she could pass for white.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be smart because we know what that's about. Like, it's like y'all didn't even think these talking points out very well. Y'all are literally running a whole convention based on our base is dumb as shit. Because it none of it's facts.
Right.
You running commercials saying this is Biden's America, but you showing America during Trump's time.
Right.
If I was in your base, I'd be like, yo, they fucking bugging. They fishing. Clearly, they out of control. They don't have a real plan. Like, you know how we always be like, but what's the plan?
Don't.
What are we doing? And like, I would look at them like they don't have a plan but to scare people.
Yeah,
Right.
there's no plan.
Because they don't need one.
There's no plan.
They don't need one.
Yeah.
They get their numbers the way they get their numbers all the time. And if they don't, electoral college swoops in.
Right. And I've been hearing a conversation about that lately. Obviously we've been hearing a conversation, but I heard a story this morning and I kind of caught the end of it. And basically they were saying that with the national convention with Trump's speech the other day, he might have reeled some of the electoral votes back in. I'm like, that's how they telling you right there, the shit coming back. Like that was the little hidden line. If you ain't hear it, you wasn't gonna peep game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, everybody hates him, but they just said that his electoral votes he might still had him 11 in Wisconsin or wherever the fuck it was. Probably is Wisconsin because that's where all this bullshit is going on. So I think it was Wisconsin. But you know, people don't even listen to that. You know, they don't even pay attention. They hear everybody else talking about how everybody hates Trump, but that's just everybody in your circle or whatever you're exposed to. Everybody doesn't hate Trump. Let me tell you.
Not at all. A lot of people are happy with him, and they telling you why they happy with him, and it's based on a lot of bullshit or a lot of selfishness. A lot of it is based on
Let me
selfishness.
tell you exactly. I just had a whole conversation. I just had to put this person in their place. He was an older white man. And I had to put him in his place because he said he was a Trump supporter. And I asked him to enlighten me. Tell me why you support Trump. And he said because he's so stupid, he tells you everything that he really, like he tells you how he really feels. I said, I can understand that, but I don't agree with that because he says dumb shit. So just because somebody says what they really feel and you can understand them, does that mean you agree? Like you
want that
follow
person
them
to
or support them?
represent you?
So I didn't. And we had a whole conversation. Like this is the same person. So he want to get he got a property and he has a big fence. And on one fence he wants to put Black Lives Matter, then All Lives Matter. Then he want to put the Union and the Confederate. And then he want to put Trump and Pence and Biden and Harris. And I'm like, yo, so he's trying to say that he get along with everybody basically. But I'm like, you don't see the controversy that
You know
like,
what they say about fence sitters. You gotta be careful of the people that sit on the fence, baby.
Listen, so I was like, you can't do that. I dug in his ass last night. You understand?
People that sit on the fence play both sides.
No, you can't. And that's what I said. You can't play both. That's what I said. It ain't that. This thing.
That's monkey in the middle.
But
Fuck
you
that.
can't even vote the fence. You cannot vote 50-50.
Right.
So what the fuck are we talking
True.
about?
My
bad. I
gave
don't
him a
mean to
whole.
yell at y'all.
You cool, but no, you make that's how I was last night because he was saying how he went through the turnpike or wherever he was. I can't remember where he was, but he said it might have been Baltimore actually, but I'm not really sure. But he said wherever he was, that only the black toll takers had gloves for to keep their hands clean from the money and all. So I said, first of all, I said, you know, the statement was kind of like unfair because there's like 10 lanes to go through. You went through one lane. You made the assumption that only the black people keep gloves on. First of all, like that was stupid as shit. Second, you know what I mean? Like you're really fucking ignorant. Like I had to explain to him the definition of ignorance in a fucking nigger. Like a nigger is not necessarily a black person.
No, the definition of nigger is an ignorant person.
Person, exactly. That's what I was saying. But guess what? People don't understand. Like it seems like us, like we seem to know this, but people of other nationalities don't understand that definition because he went on to say, yeah, because there was this guy who was Italian and he was a wigger. I said, no. If he ignorant, guess what? He was a fucking nigga too. Don't get it fucked up, okay?
Yeah, it's all these differentiations, and you don't get to dictate how this shit work. First of all, like it ain't up to you.
Guess what? I'm gonna call you out though. I'm not gonna let you talk this bullshit now. I don't know who the fuck else you be around, but I ain't done.
What my shirt say?
Black love.
Say that. I love my people. No, shout out to Red doing dope tribe worldwide for real. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Red. I made sure I had on a black shirt. Like literally, I didn't know what I was because you just texted shit. Let me throw something on. I just threw on a black shirt. That's all it was about.
Yeah, I gave a couple people hands up, but I hit these ladies up last minute. So salute to them.
Let me tell you, I got my cool shit tomorrow though. I got my Ben Juice shirt tomorrow. I'm already gonna wear that tomorrow.
Oh, you coming to the Fly Day Festival?
I'm gonna try to get there. Yeah, I'm gonna get there. So I was waiting for Friday to wear my joint. I just let you know.
So
everybody, listen. That's the thing now. You know, it's caught on, and that's what it is. You got to get juice by Chicken Juice, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you bought a juice. It could be anything.
That's why, sis. I had your shirt on yesterday. I got my hair braided, and I got my shirt. And girl, you sick? You don't know about sick with the juice? What? You don't know about shit? And when she did my hair, she took my picture, so she gonna put my picture with your shirt on, sis. So they go somewhere promo, and that's what you're supposed to do. That's the point in supporting your folks. Like it's not even didn't know that we're gonna have one out there. And we all always be in rooms and circles, you know, rooms moving and shaking in circles, different circles. So I just love the love when that type shit happens. So
yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Like I try to we talked about energy before, and I'm big on energy, and I'm big on relationships, and I'm not dripping. I ain't got diamonds. I don't live in a big fancy house. All I got is my name.
Right.
And everything, and it's worth. And what I'm learning right now in switching positions and roles in my business is that my name is definitely good out here, and I just want to thank y'all. I just shouted glocawear out earlier because even though this is just a portion of what where I come for platforms and stuff like that, y'all show me mad love, and I just really love y'all, and I appreciate it. Y'all have become more than family to me. You know what I mean? Sammie gonna say to me the other day, he said, I feel like every time you see me, you feel like you're supposed to give me something. And I feel like, bro, it's just the energy. Like, man, here, take this Henny.
Yo, she just be giving me. I get shirts, I get bottles, I get liquor, I get all type of. But it's like every time I see her, and it's like, it's appreciated. Trust me, I'ma wear all that shit. I'ma drink all that shit. We good, but I don't want. You never want nobody to think that they're obligated. And she explained to me before I could even say that sentiment that it ain't like I gotta do it. I know I don't gotta do it. And it's like, all right, then keep it coming. Fuck it. But I had to say it because I don't show her love because she gives me shit. I show her love because she gives me love.
I want to share something real quick, and then I gotta run.
Word.
The other day when we did Rap Mania 2, I had a really bad day. I'm going through some stuff with my mom is sick, and I'm overwhelmed. I got a lot of stuff going on, and I had a little meltdown. And when I got to the event, I got there. I forgot to do something, and it was something major, and it put me behind. So I was having a rough day. So when I got there, I put my coolers in, and when I came in, I walked right in. I said hi to everybody, whatever. and I bent down to put my coolers down. And when I stood up and I turned around, Sammie, Chris, they was just standing there looking at me like, "What's wrong with you, sis?" And I just wanted to bust out in tears right then and there because that meant everything to me. Because not only were they paying attention to me when I came in, they could tell that my energy wasn't the same, and they cared. It was a genuine, "We love you." You know what I mean? This ain't about nothing. We love you. We want to make sure you.
Oh good. No, we could have took the walk if we needed to.
And real shit, and that's how I felt. And it was just like, you know, when people, and I'm going to keep it 100. When people fight depression, and I'm going to say depression because black folks like to love this, you know, label. But, you know, when you fight depression and you have people around you and they love you and, you know that you got people. I got people every day hitting me up like, "Yo, Juice, I hustle because I watch it grind." And I love it. I love it. But sometimes you still feel empty. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you don't know why. Like, everybody love you, but it's like,
we all have moments.
And that's
we all
how
have moments.
That's how I was feeling, but y'all took me out of that, and I just want to say I love y'all for that, and I thank y'all for that, and y'all already know I got your back.
Anytime, yo. And you know, me network, you network, and that's emotionally too. Anybody that you met through me, they fuck with you, and you can hit them up if I'm busy. But we don't ever want you to feel like
that would be I.
You know, we don't ever want you to feel like you ain't that.
You already know.
You that to us. You deserve that time.
That I know, and I appreciate that, bro. That's real shit. And you too, stop for real.
Yeah, you already know.
I appreciate you for tapping in, though.
A little bit. Come up this way, so we gonna talk too.
I got you. What you say, Sam?
No, I was saying I appreciate you for tapping in. I'm a little sorry, y'all, about the link, but no, I'll probably see you. I'm going to Glocawear in a little bit.
Well,
all right, and then I'll be there all day tomorrow too. So, all right. So, thank you for having me. I appreciate you calling.
Shout out all your shit. Don't run away without shouting out how they can get with you.
Y'all know most of the time you can catch me on Instagram. You can hit my IG up. It's Chick with the Juices. CHIC OHWIT NOHDA Juice. Chick with the Juice #2 on Instagram. I'm at the Plat Daily. You know what I mean? You can hit my phone 267-770-8221. Y'all know what it is. Hashtag Chick with the Juice is juicy, baby. If you know, you know. If you don't, jump on this wave. It's the new wave, baby.
That's what it is.
Get on that wave.
Thank you, sis. Appreciate you.
All right, y'all.
So yeah, Sav, we got DJ Trail in this bitch.
He in the building.
Trail done tapped in. What's up with you, homie? How you?
Nothing, man. Just chilling, trying to stay safe. You know what I mean?
You sipping?
Just got done getting tested.
You sipping or you breaking the rules? Are you sipping or you breaking the rules? You got a full bar in the basement. I don't want no excuses.
Right.
I know I gotta go. Hold on, I gotta go get something to sip. You right?
No, man. Tell somebody go get you a drink, man. He gonna take us to the trail cave. He about to stunt. Oh my God. We getting it live.
I ain't gonna show too much.
No, we shot an episode down there already, so they seen a couple corners already.
That's what I'm saying. Cats gotta, you know, they gotta watch the old episodes to see the credits. Yeah, I mean,
Sammie cribs.
Where's South? Oh, okay, there she go.
All right, I'm drinking on some Guinness right here.
All right, you sipping. But no, right before we got situated, you was telling us that you just got tested again, right? For COVID.
Yeah.
So how do you get tested? I want to get tested.
You should. I think every once in a while, everybody should get tested. You can either pay for it, like I did. I went to the Minute Clinic, like the CVS Minute Clinic, John. You don't even need an appointment. You just roll up on there, and they got the number on the window out front that you can call, but that's going to cost you. But if you go to the it's called the COVID-19 Black Doctors Consortium. If you look them up on Google or look them up on Facebook, they've been doing testing since
Yeah, you've been
everything
saying that.
started for free, like in your neighborhood. It just so happens they wasn't testing on Tuesday when I go to some other place. Otherwise, I would have been wherever they was at.
How many times you been tested?
None. One, but Keish been twice already.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I never even really had the interest to get tested, but I was about to go out of the country, and they were saying that I needed to get tested. So
Yeah,
that's how I was.
You have to get tested if you're going out the country.
Yeah.
That's dope. At least we know how now. Shout out to DJ Trail for situating that for us. Real shit. That was necessary.
Right.
One thing I was just talking.
One more thing before we get started.
Go ahead.
When you get tested, make sure where to send the results. Make sure it's lab report.
He's saying it wrong. When you go get tested,
Mrs. Trail,
find out if they use LabCorp, because LabCorp gets it back to you within, they say 87 business days, but it's actually 24 hours because they quick on it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's LabCorp. Don't do Quest Diagnostic because they'll have it in there for and if you go to any type of pharmacy like Rite Aid, they're gonna take forever to do it. So just go to like Minute Clinic or Ultra or what is it? Minute Clinic or one of the Express clinics or whatever like that, and they'll get that done quickly.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Keish.
You welcome.
That's the homie.
From the trails, y'all got
That's
it
the
live from the
homie.
trails. How to get yourself COVID tested and fast and efficiently. So
Absolutely.
For real.
This information is important, and a lot of people are trying to travel and trying to get the gigs, and they need this information. So
right.
that's dope. That's dope. But before you got on here, Trail, I was talking to the ladies. I had Chick with the Juice on earlier, and of course Saf, and I was getting their reaction as mothers, black women, wives, on what we're seeing and what we just recently saw, with a black man getting shot in his back 7 times by a police officer. And I was just trying to get emotional, immediate reaction. I don't need deep thoughts because we ain't really. Everybody hasn't wrapped their head around this new one yet, but just reaction as a black man, as a grandfather, a father, a husband, a human. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy? When I first saw the video, I was like, they gonna get off because
he tried to get in his car. They gonna say he reached for something.
His car, they gonna say something like he probably was reaching for a weapon, and I feared for my life, and I shot him. You know, and it's sad, but like I'm kind of like on the fence of both situations because I got cops in my family, and I'm
We
not
all
one
do.
of those. Yeah, so I'm not one of those people that's like all cops are bad because I'm talking to the cops in my family, and we've had conversations where they just ended up crying because they're black.
Yeah, they stuck
cops.
between black and blue.
It's kind of exactly,
And I understand that, but hold on real quick. And I'm not saying that you can't, but one thing that I believe at these times is, and I know that there's good cops, because like you say, I know good cops, but I'm not prefacing anything about bad cops by talking about good cops anymore, because unless I see action, unless I know you personally, I shouldn't have to preface it no more. And if you know me personally and you know that you a good cop, you shouldn't need that either.
exactly.
You should be fighting the same fucking fight.
Yeah,
So what do you think about positive reinforcement? Let me ask you that. Let me ask you all that. Because I don't live in the city anymore, and I just had I've had a few incidents with the police in the past month or so. And Sam would tell me, like I told him that I appreciated the professionalism from the white cops, and he'll tell me that I shouldn't appreciate it because like they just doing their fucking job. The thing is, in a time where there's so much unrest between black people and the cops, I appreciate the way they've treated those involved professionally and like humans. You know what I'm saying? So I was going to write a letter to the chief just expressing that during these times, how I felt about their professionalism. So what do you think about that? Because I feel like that's a form of positive reinforcement for me.
I don't think that acknowledging an officer. Yeah, I don't think acknowledging that officer falls in the line of what I'm saying. I think that it's like we had a Jesus complex, the white Jesus complex, where it's like every time we say something, we got to be so careful of who might get offended. And it's like, I'm telling you in the shortest form possible, because y'all ain't read none of the essays, that these fucking cops that are murderers need to fucking be tended to. I shouldn't have to spend an extra sentence to say that. Now, if you want to write an email and acknowledge it, you should acknowledge anybody that does a good job if you feel urged to. It's dope. People should be acknowledged for doing good work. When you get nominated for an award, that's somebody acknowledging that you did good work, regardless of the bullshit and the fact you might not win.
And
that's a beautiful thing. Go ahead, Tro.
I think also a lot of these cops need to understand that at the end of the day, you work for me. You know what I mean? And they don't understand that. It's like they have like, yo, I run this area or this city that I'm in, and you do what I say. Nah, you got to do what I say. If I'm a taxpayer and I got my own home and I go to work every day, your check comes with my check. You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to remind them of that. Like, yo, like I'm not the dude out there selling crack or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Right. I go in and I got to answer somebody at work, and then they give me a check. So guess what? The taxes that, whoever is coming from FICA or whatever, bruh, I'm paying your salary. So check your ego, check your little situation before you have a conversation with me. Right. Otherwise, then we're going to get in some real stuff. And then, when you had that conversation one-on-one with some cops, they kind of just fall back like, all right, he ain't the number one man, he ain't the one out there shooting people up.
But you got to have an opportunity to have a conversation. That's the problem. Even in the way we raise our kids, we tell them, say as little as possible, just be respectful. Because we know they're not going to give you that conversation that you think you're owed, even though you know that they're doing you wrong. You know what I mean? And that's the scary part about it. But one thing I said before you got on here to the ladies was that they need to be held accountable in the same sense when y'all wanted, as y'all did people when y'all acted like y'all wanted to eradicate crack. You need to set examples. That's how you slow all this shit down. You make examples out of people and you make their partners accountable for their actions too. Exactly. That's how you fix the problem. That'll fix it quicker than anything. But as long as they know they could get $2 million in pension after getting laid off for this shit, there's no incentive not to do it. Exactly. And when I say $2 million, that's not a made up number. They actually had a New York cop actually cleared that.
Right.
It's scary though, yo.
Yeah. My wife made a good point. The police gotta police the police. That's it. Like,
the same way that we're calling on our communities to help police our communities, they gotta police themselves too.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? What they don't understand is that, because I hear a lot of people every time we talk about Black Lives Matter and how we got to stop the police from killing us, they always try to come back with this, well, what about what's going on in your neighborhood? And then what people have to understand is that I can't fix my neighborhood unless I know that the people that are supposed to be protecting me are 100% back. I can't go and talk to myself getting killed unless I know I can hop on the phone and be like, hey, 911, I'm about to get shot or killed. But if I can't trust in the police to be able to protect me when I'm trying to do things in my neighborhood to change, yo, I can't do that by my community first. I gotta stop the law first from killing me and help and have them give us their support, so that way I can go to these crack houses. Remember back in the day, we used to be marching. I know in West Philly, back in the day, when about 20-something years, we had the drug awareness.
Hold on, real quick. Wally, mute your own mic real quick while we try to get you in here. Yo,
Little
man. Salute to Wally Wade, man. My favorite attorney's favorite attorney that tapped in with us, man. For real. Appreciate you coming in.
Oh, no doubt, man. I have my
Wally.
troubles getting this.
That's my guy,
what's
Wallace
up?
Wade, man. Y'all can't call me Wally. That's Wallace Wade. He's a professional. That's Esquire.
Esquire.
Say it with your
Nah, but
chest.
salute.
Wade in the sun.
We always gonna salute the Esquire, baby. Put work in for that.
Right.
Right. Absolutely.
But, Trell,
Salute
back
to
to
that.
what you were saying. My bad. I cut you off. We was trying to get Wallace Wade tapped in.
No problem. Back in the day, we used to, as a community, we used to combat that drug stuff. We used to have the little marches, the little area groups march. You know, Dare. Remember
Yep.
Dare back in the day?
Yeah.
Drugs and I forgot what the acronym was. And they would have like 30 people, but they knew that the cops would,
Right.
you know what I mean? They would go right to the crack houses, like they pick
Right.
like a Tuesday, every Tuesday, on this crack house, because you know the cops is behind us and supporting us because we had our neighborhood cops who actually knew who we were and got to
Right.
know them, and then chase them out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not saying it was totally effective, but you had a situation where you could support your cops, and sometimes if you felt like you need to bring them in on something, you could bring them in. But in this day and age, your cops don't even have a beat anymore. They don't even walk
No,
a beat.
fuck walking a
nothing.
beat.
They-
We skipping a step.
And the fact that they got a beat is the
But we
rookies that they
skipping
put on
we
the beat.
skipping a step.
But hold
bro.
up.
Hold on real quick, Saf. I got you.
Okay.
If you call the
Go ahead.
cops on somebody, they gonna come and shoot you.
Right.
That's the fucking problem.
Exactly.
They gonna shoot you.
Right.
I'm already risking my life
And
and
that's
my
what I'm
freedom and all of that because I live here.
I stopped calling cops a long time ago. I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. My house got shot up when I was about 17 going on 18. And it was cats I knew. So for them, they were like, they took my wallet, my watch, everything.
Okay.
It's like 1 a.m.
I'm
They
telling
come
the
back.
podcast.
They come back to my crib and they shoot the crib up because they got my address now. My mom called the police, and the 2 black cops finally come out, maybe like half an hour later. And then one cop says to my mom, "Well, is he selling drugs?" And my mom's like, "Nah, like, why would you even think that?" And then the cop says, "Well, this many bullet holes. It was about like 30-something bullet holes in the house and in the door. Said this many bullet holes. He had to be doing something." And she's like, "Nah, he just got stuck up and they knew him." So at that point, she was like, "You know what? Y'all can go ahead." You know what I mean? And that was the last time I've probably ever called a cop, or my mother called a cop in my 43 years of life. That was some 30-something years ago. And it was just like, I got to learn to police myself. I got to learn to build my small community, no matter where I'm living at. Even on my block, I make sure I know the drug dealers. I make sure I know the older people. I make sure I know the younger people and treat them with some kind of respect. So that way
You try to be a real neighbor. You try to be a part of your community.
exactly. So that, and they know 2 things. Don't fuck with him, one. But on the other hand,
He not one of them
he a
dudes,
good
right?
dude. So, you know what I'm saying? So we ain't gonna bother him at all. Right? And that was my way of policing my own community. Besides, carrying, keeping the weapon in the crib, you know what I mean? For the people that don't know me, but it's just sad that the mentality is, I know I'm not the only person out of the billions of people on the earth that came into a situation like that and said, "You know what? I'm gonna just stop."
Well, you know what you learned as a young man? They turned the victim into the suspect at your mom's front door. The same shit they do in the media. And I think this is a perfect time to let our favorite attorney speak. Wally Wade, you know what we speaking on. We speaking on the climate right now. So, what do you have to add to the conversation? You've been waiting patiently. I appreciate that.
I mean, it's a lot of rage, a lot of fear, and it's crazy out there. But I look at a lot of things in a legal sense and not an emotional sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, just going back now, talking about Floyd or even this case here, with Mr. Jacob. Everybody's talking about the Breyonna Taylor case. And, you got LeBron, you got every cops arrested, blah, 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 blah.
If anybody got any background noise, can y'all mute it for me, please? My bad.
Yeah, I mean, people have to understand what the laws are, and we have to go after the law.
Right.
So we have to go after the legislators, your congressmen, your council people, because those are the folks who are going to make change. Police officers aren't going to make change. And you can't arrest someone if there isn't a law to arrest them for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Breyonna Taylor case, everybody talking about arresting the cops. There's a law on the books. No matter what, if you shoot at a police officer, he can return fire no matter what he does wrong. Period.
Yeah, I just spoke to that. Yeah.
So, we got to learn what we need to be outraged over. The outrage should be the warrant part, where, from what I understand, there was a lot of lies on the warrant. And that's something I dealt with in many of the cases I had. Like, look, if you lie on a warrant, everything's thrown out. But in turn, whoever lied for, they murdered, so they can just go to jail for falsifying evidence. That's one thing.
So are you saying that the cops can't really get arrested for murder for her case?
No, they were following the warrant.
But if it's a conspiracy that provided that warrant,
all right, who knew about this? Who knew about it?
Well, that's what investigation is for.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah, be real with us, please.
People may not like what I say. Is just because one guy did dirt doesn't mean the other guys. Now, don't get me wrong, but what I is, look, we got a warrant. Let's go get these. And everybody has that dude information from. You know what I'm saying? So that's when things have to. You got to understand how.
But this not the first time that those officers did something like this, neither.
Well, that's not criminal. Now you got that civil. That's a civil part.
That's what?
Part. That's civil. That's not criminal. That's not criminal.
Wow.
You got to understand where we're at. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the laws have to be changed, and it's a shame where I'm not saying I'm the perfect. Most people will come out and tell people, look, no, this is what y'all want, but you can't have this. This is the way you have to go about it. Okay, you can't keep screaming, arrest these cops, because you can't have a law and then retroactively arrest somebody. You can't do that. So what we need to do is take with the stuff that we have to make that change. You got to go after the police unions, the police chiefs. You got to go after all these people so that these laws can change. Then you go back, when something happens, and then when a cop does something on the lines of what happened to Breyonna Taylor, be able to arrest him. But
you just hurt my feelings, bro. You just told us there's no justice for Breyonna.
It's sad. It's very sad. But the way I look at it, and from the information that I have, I don't see any police charged with murder. Okay. The most I see is falsifying. That's the most I see.
Reaction.
And maybe that police officer that falsified that warrant, maybe he will get it may jump to a murder because he should have known what was happening. what might have happened, but then now you're stretching. You're stretching. So, you know, I think the outrage should be there, but we have to understand what the process has to be.
Well, I think part of it is that we're fighting for all of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just
Absolutely.
Breyonna. So it's really like we fighting for justice for everybody. Now,
Correct.
when you start saying justice for everybody, then you start lumping in the arrest those cops theme, because that's the
Correct.
problem, is that cops don't even get arrested. That's one of the problems,
Right.
one of the many problems.
Right.
So I see where that comes from, and I see how that could get spun, and I appreciate you for clarifying that. But anybody else can speak now. I'm good. Y'all go ahead. Y'all got questions, reactions, nothing?
No, I'm just trying to actually digest that because it was interesting. I never knew about it. Like, I know, of course, obviously they have protections, but I didn't realize there were things on the books that protect them from this specifically.
No,
So,
that's what I was saying earlier before he got on. I was like, no, we got to change the shit that say that they are allowed to say I was in fear for my life.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you have that. You have, but in Kentucky, if you shoot at a police officer, no matter what, it's self-defense for him to get back. Period. So, you know,
But it ain't always that for me.
That's what I'm saying. That's, you know, in that particular state, that's another. You know, you always hear how states have enacted more laws as far as pro-police, protecting the police. That's one of the laws that Kentucky has done. I think Louisiana did the same thing, like a Blue Lives Matter bill. So people have to understand where those bills came from and what they did. They offer more for police. So, like I said, so you know, they enter the wrong house, you banging them, they bang back.
But if I got a registered firearm and a stranger that doesn't identify themselves breaks into my house, I'm supposed to shoot their ass. I'm protecting my woman.
that's something. So there's no recourse for their error. There's no recourse for the error. Like, what the fuck?
Civilly, but criminally, no. That's why states paying out. Like Chicago just paid out $153 million for police misconduct.
But that's why I said taxpayers pay that. Taxpayers pay that shit. But what I was saying earlier was like, that's why we got to make examples out of motherfuckers, make them able to be sued civilly, make the laws where they can fucking get charged for this shit, and also we got to fuck these unions up like you spoke to.
Exactly. And see, my problem is, and I have conversations, and you know the high school I went to. So I got I'm still associated with a lot of the people I went to school with, and
What high school did you go to?
I'm in the Northeast.
Yeah, he a Viking.
So, yeah.
That's why he's our rival. I went to Central. He's my.
That's why I said that.
154. 154. No, y'all eat crow every Thanksgiving. You know what
I love it though.
But it's crazy how there is folks that are so pro police, and and I asked them a question. I said, hey, what is the problem with the police saying, okay, this is how we're going to be held accountable. This is what we want. We want you guys to have a civil review board, and that's not the end all be all, but have a civil review board. If a police shooting happens, that investigation gets taken out of your department's hands. Put your pensions on the line, okay, right. as well as you are on a list where if something crazy happens, you can't go to another agency and become a police officer. If the unions would just settle for that, people don't know how far that goes.
I do.
I
know,
agree.
no,
I'm not saying you were saying I don't. I'm just saying like I understand that completely. What you just said is what I've been. Yeah.
And it's simple. Like it's like they don't the union. And when I say unions, I'm speaking of unions in all the major cities because that's where the unions are strong. I'm talking about Philly, Dallas, New York, Miami, LA. They all have the same characteristics.
Right.
No matter what, they're back. They're officer, even if they're dead wrong. And it's like we get held accountable. Like take the due process part. You know, if we commit a crime, you know, we get arrested. We go to court,
and the video tells the whole story.
Right. So in most jurisdictions that I've dealt with, a police officer like let's say Jacob happened in Philly.
Right.
That officer would have 30 days before he can make a statement. So he can look
30
at the
days
video
before he can or before he has to. Okay.
Before he has to.
Right.
So you know I'm a different attorney. Let me have 30 days to look at a video with my client and witness it.
Right.
Oh, we gonna come up with something that's so crazy. Y'all gonna think I'm in La La Land. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
you don't get 30 minutes to react to Instagram. You get 30 days for legal and press shit.
And what gets me is whoever the counsel or the negotiator who negotiated that contract with the union,
he's a murderer.
You know, so you know you have to look at how these union contracts were made. You know, and who was in the room, because the things that they have in those contracts are just, you know,
it's the ultimate safety net.
And the contract, exactly.
It's the ultimate safety net. You are a superhero. You get to do what you want. You are above the law.
Exactly. And then you have qualified immunity, which is, you know, and the funny thing is with qualified immunity, even Clarence Thomas, you know, everybody has Clarence Thomas. Even he said it's
right.
That
but you know what's crazy about that? My bad, because you know what I mean. I had a couple points. You preaching today, but the crazy thing about that shit is it's like if it's a lot of people that would go to jail for life if they knew their family would still had them millions they tucked away. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But when you tell a motherfucker, I'm taking that pension, your family gonna starve, oh, it hit different. You ain't even got to go to jail to feel like you want to jump off the roof after that.
Absolutely.
And that's that bipolar is that spread apart. You would go to jail for life if you knew your family would eat forever.
And that goes with any of us. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. You know, I ain't never been a fighter. You know what I'm saying? But I knew if I really wanted to scrap, I knew I could call 3 people and I'll be no harm. They was around, I wouldn't care. And that's the same way the police act. Is they know someone has their back and nothing's gonna happen. I say, like me, I got 3 people who I know I'm a scrap. And, you know, if it gets to the point where somebody got to go under, I'll go crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's the way the police, they have that comfort level, like, okay, I can act a fool because nothing's going to happen to me. And you got to cut that. Once that's cut, then everybody's ego is like, you know, it's just like with everybody big boy with a gun. When that gun ain't on you, what you going to do?
And you got to rumble for yours.
Right. So I think that's a major point that needs to be said. Now, I mean, it's all being said, but action needs to happen, and the only way it happens is through the legislature.
because you really can't do it through the courts because it's already there. I mean, the courts told basically that, look, the legislature.
But it only takes one case to set precedent, right?
No, just see the problem, and people don't understand. Like with qualified immunity. All right, the qualified immunity is basically police officer. Whether they kill you, it's basically about your civil rights. So let's just say, just take this Jacob case. He was shot 7 times in the back. All right, that's one case. Take the same case, and let's just say Jacob didn't have a T-shirt on. He had on a jumpsuit, and he was getting into, instead of getting an SUV, he was getting into a Ferrari. That cop is getting off. Why? Because there's different facts. And you may think I'm crazy.
Repeat that. He's getting off because of what?
Because there is a difference in the facts. Dead serious. If you look up what qualified immunity, everything for a police officer to be held for violating your civil rights, that magnitude.
Not y'all.
Exactly. And this is why Clarence Thomas was like, yo, this is crazy. So that's why you get so many cases up to the Supreme Court and police win, is because there's something different about every case that, they can shoot, he could have shot 8 times. Oh, it's different because he shot one more time. Like, that's how strict qualified.
I understand that. I thank you for breaking it down that way for me. I understand that. Yeah, we about to name the episode after that.
Yeah.
Or some real shit.
Yeah, look, it's one of them things, when you heard about it, we learned about it in law school, but in everyday life, when we hear everybody talk about police be accountable, police civil rights, it's like, man, people don't really know how far we gotta go.
As a layman, because you're a professional, what I realize about qualified immunity and a lot of other terms and things that surround these police is I find out a little bit more every time we lose 3 more people.
Yeah,
because I don't, I can look up certain shit, but like I don't even understand a lot of terminology. I need it broken down to me, like most people do, right? So even like I watch the networks and I take what I can get from them, but I know what their angle is at the same time. But like you just explained something that if any one of these shows would have said that shit 5 years ago, the whole world could be figuring out something different right now.
Right?
Yeah, but the fact of the matter, it has been said, but people really,
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the breaking down. I'm giving you credit for making me understand.
Yeah. So, I think but honestly, I think what happened was, and I always bring up his name because African Americans hate this dude. So Clarence Thomas finally was riding out. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of awakened a lot of people. Like, well, dang.
If the motherfucker that we thought was on their side said their side was fucked up, what happened?
Right. He was just like, man.
Trill, you all right?
Basically what he said we need to revisit qualified immunity. And when the judge says that, it's basically saying,
this is some
crazy stuff. Because basically cases were coming up to the court and they were basically getting dismissed, not dismissed, but the rulings were falling in favor of the police unions in the states because of one minor factor. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, the defendant had a gun or he had a knife. No, it's like, yo, his right sneaker in this case was yellow and in the other case his John was red. Like, that's how crazy it was.
Wow.
Yeah. So, hopefully folks understand, get a better understanding of what exactly, and the unqualified immunity has really nothing to do with like the criminal part is basically civilly. Whether you're holding the police officer himself liable, not just the state.
I mean, that's when you go to like deep pockets, right? You would just sue the actual police department rather than the police officer, right?
Yeah, no.
But when you sue the department, we pay.
So no, you always.
Yeah, but he don't got no money though. So what you gonna sue him for?
No, department gets sued alone. Well, and that's because the department is part of the state. But
right.
Qualified immunity, you're trying to hold the person
responsible for their act.
So that's what the pensions come in at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
that he doesn't get that, right? He doesn't still benefit, although he
correct.
His crime
actually good. So yeah. So the tidbit is, we gotta have a plan to get this. This is a time where November is definitely a time for a change.
Right.
Everybody gotta get out. But more so, we gotta deal with this local. There's not, there's not so much federally that affects us every day. I tell people, the only thing that really affects you every day is probably the federal tax. But locally, everything affects you. Schools, police, trash, unemployment, all that affects you, and you have to take advantage of who your councilman is and your mayor, your DA, because that affects your everyday life. It does. So
absolutely, I say it all the time.
Yeah, people got to get out and vote. Even that shit. Oh, everybody need to get on the jury too, because man, every time I go to court, I be looking at the jury.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad you said that, because jury duty I'm looking at different lately, bro. I'm gonna keep it G. I've been looking at jury duty different lately, bro. Like on some real shit, but they don't want me up there. But anyway,
yeah, absolutely. But it has to be done. I have maybe like 4 or 5 trials a year, and I'm in Jersey, not saying in Jersey, and I'm in Camden County. I'll be in Atlantic County. Burlington County. Besides Camden, everything else is rough. I go in there and, my black folks be like, nah, I can't get the jury because I got to work. Damn, we need you on the jury.
No, but hold up, because we short on time real quick. I want to say something to what you're speaking to right now. Part of the reason that the juries aren't more balanced, first of all, we 15% of the country, so it ain't going to be but so balanced. But they believe in the system. They believe in and support the system. That's not our fault. We should do better, but that's not our fault that we don't believe in the process. We don't even want to be a part of it because it's fucked up.
I understand what you're saying, but that's the point.
But
no, like I said, I'm looking at it different, but I'm speaking for like the average person. I'm changing my stance on it. I said that on here.
What I'm saying is, if we're screaming that the justice system is rigged, your duty is one way we can figure out.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
Because if you go in there, you see, oh, this prosecutor, he's lying. It only take one. It only take one. And that's the way I run my look. I look at the jury and I look at
that's
one
the
person.
T-shirt.
Like,
it only takes one.
Preach to her. So but you have to understand that it's a jury of your peers. If it's a teenage boy or a black male, on a defense, and he got 12 white jurors on there, what you think happen in the jury room? it's gonna
So
be yeah. But if you have one or two Black or Hispanic people in the jury room, now he has a chance because now they tell their story of he did that.
no, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's just little things that we have to do, and we have to make sacrifices. So jury duty is sacrifice. If we want to this world, and I'm not saying just going in and vote not guilty just because someone is African American, but I want people to go on jury duty to listen, to figure out. Yeah, that's it. That's it. If they prove their case, send his ass to jail. If there's holes in his case, you there to let that man go. If you see the hole.
So that's what I was going to say earlier. Like, I've always been an advocate for jury duty. I've literally went to jury duty twice in 1 year for the simple fact that I had my license registered one place and my registration was somewhere else. So I went twice, and people are like, you can tell them you just went. I'm like, nah, I actually want to go. You know what I'm saying? I served on both, and I served on both juries. Now. And I think that people, and I'm just looking at it as, and I know you said, Sam, that you have a different outlook now after the station. But for me, I was looking at it like, and not just because you were saying Wallace, like not just because they're Black, but they have somebody who's at least understands the background, who is not just judging from the cover of the story, who knows what's in them pages. You know what I'm saying? So that I took it. So it was important for me to be there. And I look forward to jury duty every time I get the letter.
And I appreciate you. Like I said, with my newfound understanding, I get it. And I never worried about anybody that was doing it before. I just had a different perception of what my involvement in it was. You see what I'm saying? But one thing I want to say, the way she just responded to that, I'm so proud of my little fucking homie. That's the reason that the whole city is saying, yo, SippinWitSammie co-host is the shit. I just wanted to salute you real quick. I ain't want to slow down the flow. I know we working our way down, but I definitely want to tell you, I had conversations at Rap Mania 2 last week at glocawearradiostation, and Vu, his folks, a couple other folks, was pulling up on me, and they was like, bro, I watched the joint, and it looks great aesthetically, and your co-host is the shit.
Oh, that's what's up. Shout out to them. Oh,
so I just wanted to salute you on that.
That's what's up. That's the chemistry that we have when we talk about real shit. Like, like even this conversation, like I really appreciate this conversation. I think that our viewers will appreciate it too, because it gives you a different perspective. It's not just sugar coated and it's not just cookie box. Like it's real conversation. Like Wallace definitely gave like some perspective that I don't think a lot of people have heard.
Well, and I don't know who may see this that hasn't heard this before. The premise of this is conversation. I don't have a podcast to talk about who fucked who and who did this yesterday. I want to talk about real shit that matters, and I want to show the art of conversation. The same way that we may cut each other off, nobody gets upset about it. We respect it. We fall back and say, my bad. You know what I mean? Let somebody go. Like, it's an art that we need to reiterate into our communities, too, just of having conversations and discourse.
Right.
What you think about that, Wade?
Man, I love it, man. That's why I tune in when I can. I catch the old episodes or whatever. But it's always good to have different perspectives. You get on Facebook and a lot of stuff is all about emotion, everybody personal. Look, at some point, people got to take that out and get with what's real. What's the fact? Why can't you do something? You can't do it this, and this. Not because you don't like someone, not because you Democrat or you got money. It's look, what is on the books, and once people understand that, it involves a better conversation. Because now it's like it's an hour, and believe me, I know it all. Because at first, I was, especially to Breyonna, I was like, yo, I mean, what's up with the boys? My best friend had to tell me, like, these dudes ain't really going to go to jail. And, he sent me the information. Boom. I'm like, oh. He's like, yeah, bro. Like, he the South. He's like, the South don't play that. So,
Right.
you know, everybody has to open their mind. You know, the heart is always in it, but open your minds without the heart in it. Once you figure that out, a lot more information will come to you, and it's not.
But like I said, the access is different. Like I said, everybody don't have a Wally Wade to put shit in layman's terms when we talking about legal situations. And on top of that, we're talking about an onslaught, like an avalanche of back-to-back-to-back situations. So it's hard to use our lawyer mind to differentiate one case from another and what's expected from it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So,
but that's why you are appreciated.
Like this new case. Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, look, man. Anytime you need me, you know, I'm here. You know, I just gotta, you know, throw little things around.
Because you an Esquire.
Straight. But other than that, you know.
You work hard to be you.
Yeah, I tried to, you know what I mean? Try to. You know what I mean?
No, but that's dope though. Like, I don't know what just happened with Saf. We may have lost Saf. But I definitely wanna tell you that I appreciate you tapping in. You've never turned me down or denied me. You told me today you needed more time. I told you, let me know how much time you needed, and we got it done. And that's appreciated always, bro. All right. So, yeah, like, I always appreciate you tapping in. But before I let you go, I want to make sure you let the people know if they need your services, your legal help, and all of that, where they need to be and how they can find you.
I'm me and my brother-in-law Wayne Powell. I'm under him in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, right across from Cherry Hill Mall, 811 Church Road, Suite 101, 08002. You can reach me email wallacewadelaw@gmail.com. You can definitely give me a hit on, hit me on. Area code 904-251-4447. That is a Jacksonville number because I do work down there too. But just let you know, I do New Jersey and Florida. If anything in Pennsylvania, give me a holler. I got a couple people who I refer Philly cases too, who do great jobs. You know what I'm saying?
That's important.
I try to stay out of Philly. Because I know too many people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was a bull. He was a bull before the Esquire. I'm gonna tell you all that.
Yeah.
he didn't get famous as a lawyer. He been somebody in this city.
Yeah, so I try to stay away from it. Just get the advice. Everybody else get the bag over there in Philly.
That's love. That's beautiful.
Do what I gotta do.
No,
and hopefully, let anybody need to contact me, just holler at me.
No, that's what it is. And like I keep saying, man, you are always appreciated. But at the end of the day, man, I gotta pull up on you. We gotta drink some cognac and smoke some stogies, man.
Oh, for sure, man. Don't let this COVID. I'm clean. My house clean. You know what I mean, getting tested again next week, so it's cool.
How many times you been tested, real quick?
Twice. I had went out to Arizona. I took a little day golf trip out there, and it was during the height of their pandemic. It went crazy, and I went out there for a day, and I was like, I got to get tested. So I had finally got tested like a week later.
All right. Well, I'm glad you good, bro, man. Like I said, man, I'll talk to you soon, and we're gonna set up something. We're gonna sit outside and look at the scenery.
Oh,
that's what it is, man.
All
right, my guy. Appreciate you SippinWitSammie, man.
All right, take it easy.
I'm sure you do, and not because you want to see the dumb shit, but because you support.
Right.
We saw a little baby arm coming there.
Whoa.
You saw his arm?
Whoa.
They definitely won't leave my room. I'm like,
I'm glad we edited that part. That sounded crazy.
Oh, baby.
Saw a little baby arm coming in. I'm like, whoa, what did I miss on the screen? That was wild. See, this is why I gotta think for y'all. Cause neither one of y'all peeped that. If I'd have kept that, y'all have been like, motherfucker.
I knew what we were talking about. You missed it. We knew what we were talking about. You missed
it.
Baby R came like this. It was like,
hey. Oh, I saw that.
He playing games down there. Now he heard us talking about it. He like,
but just the audio, y'all gotta realize this is a podcast. Some people can't see the shit. This shit just come out of audio on some platforms. Right, we should probably keep all of that, actually. Anyway, since we explained that it ain't that, fuck it.
Might as well, you know what I mean?
But no, Trell, we lost you for a minute, but we just heard a lot. So I'm gonna give y'all the floor to react. Who wants to go first?
I mean, I was off of, listen, I still was stuck on the whole Breyonna thing. That just like, that floored me and just had me in awe, because hearing it, technically from the lawyer standpoint, like his whole situation was like, I can't even do anything about that. Like, I had to look at it from the warrant aspect. Like, I gotta take it from a different angle. You know what I mean? And it's like, then what also me was like, well, they can't even charge everybody. They only gonna charge the person that
executed the
did some
warrant,
kind of
possibly.
Yeah. So I was like, to me, that was just like, it deflated the whole situation. I was just like, damn, well, maybe I need to move on from that situation. And we can focus on this Jacob Blake situation. But even still,
we still worried about fucking George Floyd situation. We still worried about my man. Like, bro, we got 20 situations that's open right now that the nation knows about.
Like the George Floyd situation, pretty much I'm like, if you can't call that a murder, no matter what kind of laws or anything, I can't rock with the system. Yeah, I can't rock with the system. You can't call that man was.
But we also are in a society where I grew up thinking that if a president violated certain shit, he could be impeached. He could be taken out of office. What we're realizing is some of this shit is absolutely not going to change that way.
Nah. Well, I told people before Trump got elected, I'm like, yo, Trump's gonna be our president. And it's rare that you see a president not serve a second term. So it's only about like 4 presidents that didn't serve a second term. And if they ain't impeached this man yet, they not going to impeach him. They're gonna let him ride out for that second term because he favors the rich. He knows exactly what he's doing. It's like, yo, the rich are going to keep him in office because he's going to continue to make them rich. And
did I ever tell you how I knew he was going to win? And I mean, like, way before the race started, when he declared, I knew he was going to win. You want to know how I knew that? Because I watched a report that said we're at a point in this country where whoever spends the most money on their campaign is going to win. And then they told me a billionaire joined the race 8 months later.
That's facts.
And that was when I was like, that was like, I knew we was getting LeBron before we got LeBron. Like, I looked for certain shit. And I say we because Lakers fans. But,
Yep. But, it is what it is. And but here's my thing. Here's what I look at people sometimes when I see people on Facebook and Instagram and all that. I'm like, yo, y'all been dealing with shitty presidents all your life. Like, why is this all an uproar now?
Because it's blatant, and we thought politically correct was the thing.
Exactly. My whole thing is like, don't be all like this now. You could have been like this with 4 or 5 presidents ago.
In my lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, yo, like, you gotta deal with it. You know what I mean? And then what kills me is that the people that decided that they wasn't gonna vote, right? When Hillary and Trump was running, I'm like, yo, y'all part of the blame for this.
Absolutely. But is it a coincidence that we had 2 elections in a row when we had to vote for the lesser of 2 evils?
Exactly. It's always like that.
No, it's not.
I mean,
usually they give you a little ray of sunshine on your side, little ray of sunshine on their side. This time it's like everybody fucked up. Vote for the fucked up person that wears your color.
But if you go back and you think about it, right? Like, or Obama was inspiration because he was the first black man, and that's how I looked at it. I didn't look at Obama as like Obama gonna come in here and change the world, and this shit's gonna turn.
No,
into
we all know it's
Wakanda,
deeper
Africa.
than that.
I didn't look at it like, yeah, I looked at it like I can go tell my son now, yo, you could be president
And mean it.
one day. You
Not
know?
just say it like we were saying
Yeah.
before. We got proof now.
Yeah.
We got pictures and shit.
Exactly. It can happen. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's sad that I had to say that because you go to other countries like Africa where they didn't have black presidents and all types of stuff, and it's like, yo, we so far behind in the diverse world.
And Africans built this country too.
Exactly. But then back to what I was saying is, if you go look at every political thing, we've always voted in the worst. We always try to get the best of the worst. It's always been like that. If you go back, you go back. I mean, you go even with Bill Clinton ran against who was it? Was it Bush? I forgot who Bill Clinton ran against. But Bill Clinton wasn't all that great either. You know what I'm saying? Bill has some, you know, he had his hands in some laws that, you know, that falter black people, just like his wife. So no matter who we're always voting for, it's always the lesser of the two evils, no matter what we do. And even if you get a sprinkle of sunshine, them Republicans, and they're not gonna let that sprinkle of sunshine do too much.
No, but let me clarify real quick. When I say we used to have a sprinkle of sunshine, I mean they made effort to make us feel like this person gave a fuck about us. Both sides right now are dealing with people that they don't believe really even care about them. Honestly. They're literally voting for colors. They're literally gangbanging in Congress right now.
Right.
No, neither side is presenting a decent front.
Here's the sad thing. When you can't get politicians to take a strong stand on education, they ain't for nobody. They
bro.
For us.
Yo, bro, from your mouth to God's ears, bro.
They don't never want to take that. They don't never want to take that education stand because the education is so rough, and then on top of the fact, they're always cutting the budget from education and put towards everything else. So we so far in deficit with education. It's like if you take that stand, you're gonna have to pay money. I can remember when we all grew up, where you went to high school, and high school had art, music,
JV, freshman sports.
Exactly. All that got cut.
Right.
All that got cut because they don't care about education.
Bro, they're having Zoom meetings to decide if kids should go back to school or not, and deciding they should. You're having a Zoom meeting with 5 people to decide if 1,000 people should be in one building.
Like where's that decision at? Like, that's your kids. Like, they don't care about your future. They
kids is fine. They homeschooling is, bro. They gonna be on a yacht getting homeschooled. They gonna be in the ocean.
Exactly. The wealthy kids don't go to school. You know what I'm saying? The wealthy kids get homeschooled, and
or they have the option at least. They have the resources.
And when it's time to go to college, they pay for their diplomas.
They pay for them to get into this college on a fucking rowing scholarship, and she never held a paddle.
Because I said you should have a Lori Loughlin. That's exactly what I said.
That's why Aunt Becky getting locked up now. You know what I mean?
But that's just one person, and that's just one example. And that's what I say about making examples out of people. That'll make people second guess it. But we need a couple more, just like we do with the police. You can't give me one example of somebody getting prosecuted. 1% of the police get charged. Less than 1% get prosecuted
Exactly.
and sentenced.
Right.
We need more examples. Definitely need more examples.
What are we talking? Like, you know what I mean? And not to y'all, but the people that think that maybe like we be on one or I be on one. It's like you gotta at least make it make sense. Y'all don't even care about making it make sense no more, which makes it seem like y'all declaring war. And if you declaring war, I've been looking at the numbers of who been copping what during the pandemic. That's all I'm gonna say. Black people ain't the ones buying all the toilet paper.
Exactly.
Definitely copped up. Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. And it's at a point where it's like it is what it is. Y'all, that's how y'all carrying it, right?
Exactly.
But one thing for sure, two things for certain. I want each and every one of y'all that was on here tonight to stay safe. I love y'all.
Love you, back,
Make sure all y'all get to the range. I took all my sisters and my mom to the range, so that way they can have some kind of self-defense.
They got some confidence with that tool.
Yeah, big
comfortability.
Time. Like I tell people all the time, don't think because all of a sudden things going on in the world, you're gonna go out and buy a gun and you ain't never shoot one in your life. Nah,
don't work that way.
It be in everything. Listen, it's like basketball. You ain't coming off the floor thinking you Jordan. Jordan had to go to practice. You know what I'm saying? Right. Jordan had to play out.
Got to work out, baby.
Exactly. Right. That's why I took my sisters and my mom, and I was like, I want y'all to be comfortable. Shoot a 9mm, shoot a 40 count. Yeah, I mean, get used to shooting those big guns, because you can't shoot a large caliber man with a small caliber gun. You know what I mean? So
you can if you hit him 50
used
times.
to
anyway.
Get used to them sounds. You know what I mean? That going around.
Yeah, don't get jolted. Keep letting that thing go.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's about being comfortable. Because listen, I ain't gonna be around all the time. And when I ain't around, I expect you to defend yourself. You know what I mean?
I had somebody say a long time ago, I got a shotgun. You know how I taught my wife to operate the shotgun? I said, aim at the nearest wall to what you're aiming at, and you'll hit them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, even if you can't get them to the range, you need something that they comfortable, they know what they got to do, they can handle their situation. Because it's getting weird out here.
It is. It's getting
I'm
real
glad
weird.
that all my queens, a lot of my homegirls are strong, but I'm here for them if they got moments of weakness, because we got to be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? South ain't playing. You run up on her, you gonna fly out faster. You know what I mean? But like, that's what we need. We need our queens to be comfortable. And that's why I salute you taking them to the range, because that's what it's about. It's about knowing how to operate this tool.
Exactly. Even my daughter, I'm like, she told me she got life to carry. I was like, oh, she got to go to the range. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
I mean,
not?
she got life before she even
No, but I said earlier, like, if we really want to talk about weapons, it's a lot of people that shouldn't have driver's licenses.
Right.
Right.
You kill more people with a car before you will bust it off 50 shots with your blank ass.
Exactly.
Anything you operate, you need to fucking train it.
Exactly.
Right.
Because you can hurt somebody. Period.
Facts.
No, but like, this was dope, man. This was a great joint. Saf, I started out the original joint saying you wasn't in the building, so I was running wild, and then you came back and took over. It's something about you, man. Saf never gonna let me shake her, I swear.
Okay. Yo, I'm in the building. Y'all know where to check me out. Check me out on thescenemagazine.com for a positive platform, everything you need and you want from a positive perspective. On thescenemagazine.com. Holla at your girl.
Trail, do you want? Hold up. This first fly day trail, by the way.
That's right. Mr. First
Hey.
You can catch me on Glocawear Radio every first Friday of the month, 4 to 6 p.m. with my man Sippin' with Sammie and the logo Poe. You can also check me out on Instagram at The Real DJ Trill at TheRealDJTrail. I do everything: parties, bar mitzvahs, anniversaries,
Talk that shit.
weddings. I mean, if music being played, I'm right there. I'm classic rock, hip hop, oldies, soul, funk. It don't matter. You know what I mean? I could do the baby shower. It don't matter. Hit me up on the gram. You see all of my work right there. Holla at your boy.
Yo, and one thing for sure, two things for certain, like anybody that I ever have on my platform, I co-sign everybody you seen tonight. Whatever they promote and support. Y'all talking that support black businesses, Philly support Philly. Oh my God, I need a DJ. Oh my God, niggas is not giving me quality that I deserve when I try to reach out to them. Fuck with the people I put you on to.
No doubt.
And you'll be good. But always check us out on Sippin' with Sammie podcast every Thursday at 4 p.m. We release on all the major streaming platforms for podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts at. Also catch me on Flyboy Friday Radio, on Glocawear Radio, the best happy hour in the world, on the greatest station in the nation. Flyboy Friday Radio on Glocawear Radio. You already know. The merch is behind me. Shout out to the logo. If you need the fucking merch, hit at Flyboy Friday Radio. I also have Sippin' with Sammie podcast merch, and I have the Amateur Twerking Sucks tees for all my real ones. So hit me up, man. It's available, man. I got it to you, but everything is quality and everything come at a price. But please believe and do remember that you are supporting the movement. You supporting something that's going to bring enlightenment to a lot of things that help our community. And I always put my money back into the business. I got other ways to pay my bills. So just know that. So I appreciate y'all for checking us out. I appreciate all my guests tonight. I appreciate my co-hosts always. Saf, I love you. And I'll talk to everybody soon, man. Real shit. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, get your fucking life together.
Love you too, bro. You already know we always in the building. Let's go.
It's the king of hooks, baby. Sam along with us, Corey. Yeah, man. They ain't ready. Don't get what you're looking for.
Yeah.
They ain't ready. In the streets we can't cry no more.
Slick as I want to be, smooth as ever seen. Melody could be felony, what you telling me? Learn to play from Bill Bellamy, Peter Guns, someone else. I'm something else, something different. That's what she sniffing. Caught Malone shit, different from pimping. Scene was basic till I slipped in. Trapping, loading, clipping, saying all niggas bitches. I call niggas bitches. Like bitch, handle business first, boy, yeah. Like incense, twist 3, dismiss. That's Malone's mistress. Music business, I'm trafficking. What was mastered in, led through a path to sin. Walls crashing in, cashing in. Couldn't figure out what was happening, but trapped again. Backfire from trapping in. Ironic as hell, my pocket's loud in the cell while waiting on Tiny to post bell. Oh hell.
Don't get what you're looking for. They ain't ready. In the streets we can't cry no more. They ain't ready. Don't fight right through the pain. They ain't ready. Can't see me walk through the game.
Can't fight tears, I can't find fears that ain't mine. I can't see big blind, spend time showering shit time. Outside I'm on hills, all ting grounded. Light tunnels with backwoods, sparkwoods countless. Nights pitch black, go legit, switch back, loud pack, 6-pack, V8 hardly switch that. Ready to flip mattress, couches, and bout. Something about grinding it out, I'm so bout it. Ready to get what I came for. Same ball, plenty corners bent in my stint, I became more. When it became war, I gave him Armageddon. Born legend, Sammie the veteran, I would bet on him. Follow his lead, take heed, use caution, never the one flossing. Respect due bosses, respect who the Ross from up top. Sam alone with Corey, with me, women, I stop.